Well, hi everybody. In this edition of Moodle Support Theater, I'm going to be sharing some basic information on how to set up an Elluminate live session. That's an online web conferencing tool with a great variety of features. And we're going to continue using the weekly format of Moodle. To begin with, let's turn on our editing in the upper right-hand corner, and then drop down to the date you wish to have the event scheduled. From the Add an Activity drop down and choose Elluminate Live Session. When you do that, here's your setup screen. Your first choice, what are we going to call the session on the Moodle page? I'm going to call this Guest Speaker. The next choice is normally left as Course. Now, if you need to do a student conference or have office hours, Private is a good choice. You'll notice that Custom Group Session is faded out, and as we move down the page, all other group activities are also going to be faded out. That's because they're not used in this version. Next, what will the event be called in the actual session? I'm going to cut and paste here to save time and call this a discussion with Bob Woodward. In the summary box, I like to copy and paste my instructions to the class as far as the event, what time to begin, class expectations, and any necessary instructions and preparation for logging in. Again, I'm going to cut and paste. And by the way, you can do a whole lot of things in summary boxes. Be sure to check out our video in the introductory series all about the summary box if you haven't done so already. Okay, let's determine a start and end time, and do notice it's based on military time, so if we're going to begin at 4 p.m., that's 1600. You're going to have 30 minutes before the session to log in and set up, and I always add 30 minutes at the end in case things run over. Now, I'm setting this up for a few minutes from now so we can test it, but you can schedule this as far in advance as you need to. You may record this session for later playback for those who may either miss the class or want to use the material as a study guide. I suggest manual, which is the default setting. That allows you to turn the recording off and on as needed. If you choose disable, it turns it off completely, and automatic is always turned on. The boundary time I mentioned, it's preset for 30 minutes. That's how much in advance the guest can log in and set up. And I do recommend showing that by checking that little tiny box, as well as including it in the written summary for the class. Now, as far as grades go, don't. Elluminate just automatically gives everybody 100 points, even if you want to give them 75. No grade is set for a reason, and I respectfully suggest you leave it at that. You can hide your event by changing the visible setting to hide, and if you feel the urge to put in an ID number, call me. I'll talk you out of it. It's not used in our system, and it's going to confound your gradebook in a lot of annoying ways. Let's save, and let's take a look at what we've got. I set this session up so you can join right now. If you're not within 30 minutes of the session time, you're not going to see the Join Session option. So let's go to our Moodle page, find our session, and click on it. We'll see all of that event information we set up, especially the stuff in the summary box. That's why it's so important, and then a number of other choices. Now, in Moodle, the initial instructor in the class is the moderator, and all students are participants. If you have a co-instructor, for example, or you're going to be using a student assistant, use the Edit Moderator choice. In this class, Denise is my instructor's assistant and is identified as eligible on the list in the right-hand column, so I'm going to add her by highlighting her name and then at the bottom of that column, clicking the button. You can preload files and join the session, and for a full introduction to running Elluminate session, there's all kinds of training available. If you haven't done it before, I do recommend you use the training to get up to speed. And one final point, if you haven't verified your system settings, where it says verify your settings, click here, do that, and then on the left-hand side, second item, there's a choice to check out the Blackboard collaboration tool. Basically, you should get a green check for your operating system and a green check for Java. That tells you you're ready to go. Okay, that's basically how to set up an Elluminate session. There is, of course, more to learn, and we invite you to come to the source for Moodle information here at Moodle Support. We're here to help. Talk to you soon.